So you still love your twin flame or your specific person, and you want to manifest them, you want them back in your life, but now you're worried that that is not possible because you haven't spoken to them in a long time, maybe even years. It is still possible, okay? It actually does not matter how long this journey already is, or even how long you've been no contact. I've had a client who's been on this journey for 40 years, really like 4 decades. And once she started working on her self-concept, he all of a sudden opened up and said things like, "Oh my God, I always loved you. I was just too scared. I realized that you've always been the one," after 40 years. I do have another client where it took 11 years. And then she started to consciously manifest him. And then it took like 3 months, approximately, maybe 4. I don't remember exactly. Until he came and he was like, "You're the love of my life." And she even manifested a third party that she didn't know about. All of a sudden he was married. She never heard of that woman. And he had been married for a long time. And once she started manifesting again, like 3 or 4 months later, he and his wife decided to separate, not in a fight. They just both realized, we're not happy anymore in this relationship, and they separated in peace. And he chose her after 11 years. And I have another client, also 11 years. He was gay. He has never been with a woman. He told her, "I'm not into women." She started manifesting. And again, it took like 3 months. That one I know specifically because I know her personally. And after like 3 months, he came, "We need to talk." And he moved in the same day. And another like 3 or 4 months later, they were married, and they still are. And it's been a couple of years now. So the journey, it doesn't matter. What matters is your assumptions. As long as you hold on to your old assumptions, like they're not ready, or I'm not being chosen, that is what is getting mirrored back to you. And you can hold on to those assumptions for years, for decades even. How's the universe supposed to mirror you? They're ready, they love you, they choose you. If you show the universe, "I don't deserve to be chosen, I don't do it myself. I don't deserve to be treated well, I don't do it myself. My needs are not priority. I don't even take them serious." How's the universe supposed to mirror you that someone else who is the reflection of you mirrors that to you? How are they supposed to choose you when you do it yourself? How are they supposed to choose you if you constantly tell the universe, by thinking, by talking about it, "They're not ready, they're not ready"? That is the order to the universe. The universe never knows what you want. The universe always reads you. It reads what is your subconscious programming. And then it will help you, or try to help you, by making those subconscious programs conscious. For example, if you have fears of loss and abandonment, the universe helps you by taking that person away from you. So all of a sudden you feel what you have been oppressed. And that is your chance to actually deal with that. Many people, unfortunately, oppress it and then blame the other person, or they're not ready. And you can do that again for decades. Or let's say you have the program, "I don't respect myself," or the assumption, "Other people don't treat me well." That is getting mirrored back to you until you clear that assumptions. And that is, again, entirely up to you, 100% your job and yours alone. So how long does it take until union? Well, until you have cleared your old assumptions. Until you stop telling the universe and other people, "They're not ready, they're ghosting me, they don't like me," or even worse, "They're a narcissist because they don't choose me, they don't do what I want them to do, that is why they're a narcissist." Well, the universe is going to confirm you, right? Always. It's the job of the universe. The universe never decides what you get and what you don't get. And it also doesn't decide what you deserve and what you don't deserve. You deserve. You decide that. And of course you may say, "Yes, I know I deserve love." But again, do you treat yourself accordingly? And we're not talking about egoism. You still help others in times of need. We're talking about, I can set my boundaries. I can say no when I mean no, even if it is to my boss, to my family members. I can take care of myself. If I feel my body needs a break, I put myself first and give my body a break. Are you doing that? That is active self-love. That is vital. Because unfortunately, that is how mirroring works. It has to be inside you first before it can get pushed out. Because your person, your twin flame or your specific person, is the 3D projection of your own inner divine feminine or masculine, depending on who you are. So if you have distorted, let's say your person is a masculine, if you have distorted masculine energy because you haven't healed any father issues, grandfather issues, big brother issues, you have made negative experiences with the men in your life, especially before you were 7 years old. That is when we get our basis programming. Of course, things are getting altered later on. But if you have had negative experiences there because maybe the men were not there, or they were there but they were not very loving, that is your inner image of masculine, and that is your inner masculine. And then you attracted men, most likely, who somehow mirrored that back to you, which then of course created the assumptions, oh, men don't like me, or they don't have time for me, or they don't choose me, or they are not faithful, or they're not honest, whatever your programming is. And that is then like a red thread going on autopilot until you change that. That is what we call a karmic cycle. Karmic cycle has nothing to do with the other person. It is your inner programs that need to be changed. So how long does it take? I don't know. How long do you need? Are you doing the work or not? Or are you going to keep blaming them for not being ready? They're not ready because you're not ready. And I know it sounds harsh, but it's the good news, because we're not victims. Once you realize that, oh my God, I created the version of them that is not ready, because that is my assumptions. That gives you so much power, because then you realized, if I created that version of them, if I drew them in as the, narcissistic version because of my inner programmings, of me putting myself last, of the experience of being put last from people before, and he's just confirming my program. The universe sent that person to me to show me what the problem is so that I can fix it. Once you do that, and you start seeing them in their best version, then you can have them in their best version. It takes as long as you need. For my friend, who I have to say, she's a spiritual worker as well, so she had already done a lot of shadow work. It took 3 months. Does it mean that it has to take 3 months for you? No. If you still have a lot of stuff, it's a lot of work. Does it have to take years? No. If you take time every day, and again, self-love, do you see yourself as worthy enough to have your true love? Do you put yourself first? Like I take 15 to 20 minutes out of my day every day to do the Ho'oponopono, for example, to clear that, or to do the revision technique. I do have videos on both of that, and also the Ho'oponopono meditation. Are you worthy? Are you showing the universe, yes, I deserve to be happy, healthy? I actually actively work on that. Well, then you will get to your result. But if you say, no, I don't want to, I don't feel like it, you're showing the universe, no, I don't deserve to be happy, I don't even take care of it myself. They're not going to give you happiness. It's not their job. It's your job, and they are mirroring. So how long does it take? I don't know. Up to you. Roll up your sleeves and get to work. Check out my subliminal and meditation tracks. Of course, you can reach out for personal coaching if you don't know where to start. Or please check out my other coaching videos in the Twin Flame 101 playlist. I promise you, you will get to your goal, and timing is entirely up to you, because the universe already created every possible outcome. The version of them that is nearly ready exists just as much as the version of them who is nowhere near ready. And your assumptions about yourself and them and love, men, women in general, determine which version you get. All of those in between, of course, exist as well. Change your assumptions, you change them. And it's not manipulation, because it is your energy work. It has nothing to do with them. If you install, I'm the person who's always been loved, and you treat yourself well, that is not manipulating them. That is changing your energy, and they will transform with you, grow with you automatically. I hope it helped. Check out the entire Twin Flame 101 playlist. I do see you there, or in personal coaching. Until then, as always, I wish you all the best now. Bye-bye. If you want to book your own custom-made affirmation or subliminal, you will find my contact information in the description box below.